Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. Hello, Aninia. How are you doing? So, what were we doing? Doing fine, nice. Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Just finished working. So yeah, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday we tried to deploy two separate installations, and it actually failed. By the way, why is this? There we go, PowerShell. Okay, so this is my test cluster. That's good. So, yeah, yesterday I tried to deploy two instances of Ymirheim server in the same cluster, but on different namespaces. And I couldn't actually do that. Yeah, reconciliation is still in progress, so we need to figure out what's actually wrong and how can we fix it. Okay, so the health checks are failing. That's fine. Oh yeah, I remember that the problem was in the Helm repository, right? Not Flux. kubectl get Helm repository. Okay, so this one failed because the secret is not found, because the Helm repository is in what namespace? In this namespace. We were using the one in the default namespace. So, I don't even know. Okay, so let's take a look. This one is in Flux system. This is our apps customization, which loads apps Ymirheim Kubernetes. This customization. And this one has internal and it has release. So we moved the internal and it looks like it's running, right? kubectl get Helm release. This one is ready, but if we use namespace YH in, no, YH, which one? Release. That one's failing. Not ready. Okay. So yeah, the one that we had is internal. It's in the default namespace. The release, we marked that one. Created a separate namespace for it. This one. And that one got created. That's good. customization. It's in this namespace. And let's take a look. So this Ymirheim server base customization namespace default. So it actually overrides the namespace, right? Because it's not using the default namespace for the repository. It's not using the default namespace for the release. Yeah, we have Ymirheim server in the default namespace. We have that one in the release. So what are we gonna do? I don't want to have duplicate Helm repositories, but maybe I will. Helm repository, default and release. Like, I know how to fix this quite easily, but I'm thinking about reorganizing this a little bit. Let me open Flux documentation. I want to check something. Did I mention that I hate Algolia search? Can't find anything with it. So, Helm repository. Let's take a look at that. You need source Helm repository. So do you have to define a namespace? I mean, they always define the namespace for the repository, but yeah, I don't know. The interesting thing is I changed the namespace of the customization here, and it overwritten the namespace for Helm repository and Helm release, and the namespace of the customization here. So I don't know. Can I get rid of that completely? Just curious now. If I don't specify the namespace for these things. And Maybe I can move. Like I don't like having multiple Helm repositories defined in the cluster and having to use two separate secrets. I would like to have a single repository that deploys into different namespaces. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna use the namespace flux system. So this customization lives in the default namespace. Let's do flux system for this customization. And the Helm release, well, this one doesn't matter, right? Helm release, can I use target namespace? I can. For some reason it doesn't do the suggestion for me, but yeah, it's in spec, target namespace. And also let's rename this values patch to Helm release patch. So Helm release dash patch, target Helm release. Ymirheim server. I'm gonna break everything. But okay, let's see. Let's start from the beginning. So apps lives in flux system, right? Then it loads apps Ymirheim Kubernetes, which is this folder. Here we have the customization, just the customization. Let's do the namespace flux system. Let's explicitly define that. That customization lives there. Actually, it's not defined here. Okay, apps, flux system. We use that. And here we'll load these two guys. Internal and release. If we go into internal, customization, namespace Flux system. Resources Ymirheim server, so it was this customization. So yeah, I can define the namespace on this level. Okay, good. So close this Ymirheim server customization. We now don't have the definition of the namespace here. We have Helm release repository, but without the namespace. Now this customization applies Helm release patch. Actually, let's name it release-patch. So release patch, it says the target namespace to be default for internal. Okay, good. And we have the config loaded here in the customization itself and the values. Okay. Then release. For release, our customization is an YH release. Yeah, so basically the same thing. Values patch is gonna be release patch. Excuse me. Okay, so release patch. This one is a namespace default. So for this one we need, target namespace default. Internal, here we remove the namespace, set the target namespace to be YH release. Yeah. Config stays the same. Customization. Yeah, we don't have the namespace, a separate namespace yet. So that's fine. Have the namespace YH release. And the values. So let's see. Oh, I need to commit that. Okay, so reconciliation is in progress. Now probably both of them are broken, because they now should expect the secret to be inside the Helm release Flux system namespace. Let's see, Helm repository in all namespaces. So we have in the default Flux system Ymirheim release. Doesn't work. Why? These two repositories should be gone, But instead, another one should have been created in the Flux system repository. Why is this not working? No changes, huh? Okay, we have an error. Customize build failed. Accumulating resources, accumulation. Trouble configuring built-in patch transfer with config values patch. I did rename that. Should be release dash patch. Yeah. Interesting. So for release, it couldn't find the values patch. Wait, it's not committed. What? Oh, I didn't save the file. Oh my god. And I didn't save this file. Okay, now what? Namespace transformation produces a deconflict. Helm repository. Well, that's a problem then. Yeah, I cannot create, like, when I have two repositories with the same name, they basically conflict with each other. Okay. That means that I either have to place the Helm repository in here on the cluster level. And use the same secret one time. Or I place those in separate namespaces and I put different credentials. Well, okay, change of plans. Let's actually do the Helm repository. How to reach dark sorcerer states in programming status. I don't know. I don't think I'm one of those, so probably I'm not the person to ask about that. But yeah, hi 𝙽𝙴𝚁𝙸𝚂, how are you doing? Yeah, I guess we're gonna place repository in each namespace. So we're gonna get rid of that. Gonna get rid of that. Customization. I thought I also added the namespace here. Oh no, I removed the namespace here. Okay. Okay, so for internal, yeah, we're gonna use for now the default namespace here just because it's currently running in there. I don't want to move all the secrets before we figure out the structure. So this is in the default namespace. And it should override the namespace for every resource inside. We don't care about target namespace because it should inherit the namespace from the customization. Then customization here. Wait. Yes. This one is in the release namespace. We also create that namespace. Nothing in the config. And here we remove the target namespace. Okay. And this customization, we don't care about the namespace for that one. We just need to reference these two, and these two are in different namespaces. Okay, so we should be back to our error with missing credentials for the Helm repository. What's wrong again? Oh, I didn't push the changes. Okay. Okay, so now reconciliation is in progress. Now we need kubectl get Helm repository. in all namespaces. Okay, so in the default, that's working, that's ready. Flux system, we have GitLab, that's ready. In release, we are missing the secret. So let's go and create that secret. I think I need both of those. Package credentials. Yes, I need both of those. Okay, let me see. I need to create 2 tokens. We should remember to where do I create those. In the group deploy tokens. Okay, so I don't like creating these secrets like that, but I think what we can do is actually share the secret. So store the secret, for example, in the Flux system. No, it's not gonna work because the Docker registry token actually needs to be accessible from within the namespace. It's not going to work across namespaces. So yeah, we do have to create all of them, all of the repository and release objects in their own namespaces. No way around that. Okay, so I need 2 tokens. Actually, while we're at that, maybe we can kill our previous server installation and put it in the correct namespace. Let's do that. So I need apps. No, not this. This customization. Let's comment those 2 out. Ymirheim server resources temporarily removed. Let's see actually if that works. Still reconciliation in progress. Do I need to disable apps or something? Why is it running? What? Show status. So why do we have that? I commented out the resources, or does it load everything if the resources are commented out? I guess so. Wait, there was a way to disable a customization. No, this is not it. How do I disable it? I guess I can suspend, but that's not what I want. I want to delete without deleting the actual code. Can I comment this out? Maybe. It's still there. What? Why? I commented it out. Still run it. It just redeployed the server. What is going on? Yeah, I guess I can't. This is interesting. What if I comment out the path? What's going on? I don't understand. Still contains all of this. Why? That. Let's see, 5700. Yeah, that's the latest commit. So why doesn't it do that for apps? I commented out the code that should be completely gone. Like this should be completely gone. I don't understand. What if I delete it? Pods are still running. Didn't delete anything. It didn't delete anything. What the hell is going on? I must be missing something again, because this is complete magic. Okay, so now the apps are gone. Pods are gone. Let's see, what do we have? Yeah, this looks good. Really weird. But okay. Hello, doll. Okay, so now we have these two customizations. Let's go to internal customization namespace YH internal. Okay. No namespaces here. Good. And for release, have namespace YH release. Oh, now we also need to do this in here as well. Get namespace, put it here. Internal. Okay, we should be good theoretically, but yeah, it should fail because we now don't have a secret. But now it's for both of them. Okay. Now pods. Get Helm repository in all namespaces. So have Flux system, internal, doesn't have the secret, and release doesn't have the secret. Okay. Yeah, now I need to delete my previous secrets. Hopefully I don't delete something that's needed. But okay, yeah, let's revoke this one. Let's revoke this one. So now we need to create two secrets in their respective namespaces, these two secrets. So package credentials and registry key. So new token. Let me copy that. So registry, read registry, and read package registry. In namespace YH release, and in namespace YH internal. Okay. So let's see. Is this fixed now? Okay, so this is fixed. We have the repositories running. Now what about the release? Now release should fail because the registry should not be accessible. So I need to create these two things. I mean, two of these things. Okay, I created those. So it's run and install. Create container config error. TestDB credentials, right. We now need those. Wait, what? Why does... Ah, it opens the console. See. So now I need those two. Okay, container started. Okay, Helm release install successful for the release. Good. And that we configure it for now to only start the test DB. All of these are commented out. Okay, that's good. Now we need the internal, right? So again, we need the test DB credentials. So what do you want? Started. Create container config error. What? Config map, volume mount, setup. Aha, I see. I wish the error was a little bit more descriptive. But yeah, that one uses the internal, uses an external database, right? No. Yeah, no. It needs the secrets, the authentication keys, but it uses the test DB. Okay, so I need to create these things. And probably Elastic as well, right? Yeah, Elastic too. So we don't touch the external database credentials right now. We just create some test Elastic credentials. And the authentication keys. Crap, I don't have the files. I need some kind of test file. 1 sec. Okay. Should be good. Okay, running. Let's run with gateways. I just created those secrets. Let's see. Client server auth. Client server auth. Client keys, server keys. In the internal namespace. It should be working. Maybe it needs some time to restart, I don't know. Those two. Those are there. Interesting. Customization error. Client rate. What? What? Ymirheim server conf. It's this one. It's there. And it's there for the release. It's there. Although it's weird that we only have 2 files. Ah, no. Though there are those files. Okay, so that's good. What the hell? So the gateways are now running. And the release is running. Everything should be fine. Everything seems to be fine. It's just this gave up, I guess. Flux, reconcile, customization apps. There we go. I need to force reconcile. I guess because it was waiting for so long, it gave up. Okay. So we have everything running right now. We have internal and we have our release namespaces. Okay. Did I create elastic secrets? I didn't. So how does that work? So for internal values, I don't think it created the secret for elastic credentials. I guess I did. When was that? Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, that's one of the last ones that they created. Okay, so that's good. Should be running. So created both of those. Let's note that within each namespace. So here we will have container, registry, and package. Is it called repository or registry? Registry. So here I would need to go to the Ymirheim group, settings, repository, deploy tokens, create a new token with read registry and read package registry scopes. External DB credentials. Test DB for external databases. Let's move the nodes above. And this is gonna be administration. Okay. Okay, so we have everything running, right? In internal, we have this thing. Let's check out what's login doing. Yeah, status is good. Zone servers. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. So, I think we are good. We now have two separate instances that we can configure properly. Release and internal. Now I would need to configure that properly. But yeah, looks like this is it. So next for me would be to get it working properly. So for internal, we are going to use the test database. Oh, by the way, for release, this needs to be a production environment. This will be the actual config for production. Except it's going to use the Ymirheim login external database. But for now, let's leave it at the test database and write it to do. Switch to the external database. We need configure OTLP, configure elastic. So this gateway goes there. We have the secrets for the keys. So we need to do configure secrets, the keys properly. But this will stay there. Gateway, we assign it to that. Test to be. Okay. Here we have this configuration. This looks good. This looks good. So this is going to be our release config. Oh, by the way, this needs to be gone. Right? Yeah. This needs to be gone. Cluster. Do we set an environment in here? Yeah, we do set environment, so we will be able to filter out that thing. So we don't really need to use the name overrides for that. It was just yesterday for me to test. We just use this. Okay. So then this thing is our internal release with test database, staging. Hello, Kurosawa. Configure a TLP. Configure elastic. Right, and this one's going to be slightly different. Only a single gateway instance is needed. Actually, no. Let's do 64, 11, and 12. They're both gonna be on the same node, so we're not gonna do the node selector. Actually, I need a separate node for the proper internal setup. Right. We need configure keys. So for internal server, I need a separate node, not on the same server, which could be tricky to do, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can do that easily. So for this one, we will have single instance of everything. One persistent, one transient, one towns. Let's actually configure this like that. Let's get rid of the affinity. So gateway 1, gateway 2. Actually, let's just use a single gateway. We'll save up some memory. Test DB, internal host name. Yeah, replica counts, all of them should be 1. So 1 towns, 1 persistent, 1 transient. Good. And for now, we're going to comment out the node selector. Create a separate node in the future. For now, that should be commented out. Okay. So test DB staging. This needs to be configured. This needs to be properly configured. And the node should be created. Okay, otherwise this should be fine. And it should theoretically start. Now this, for now we use the test DB, but we will switch to the external databases. Same name, environment production, configure TLP, configure elastic, configure keys. Now the setup will be the same. Node selector is gonna be the same as we used previously. And yeah, the replica counts will be the same as well. Okay. Let's try to deploy this. It should theoretically work. Okay, so reconciliation is in progress. That's concerning. So internal should be running, login and vault. Probably, yeah, they are migrating right now. Okay, now they are running. So internal looks fine. Release is failing. Why? Elastic credentials. They should be there. Oh, no, they're not. So I created TestDB in both namespaces, and I created Elastic, but only in internal. I need to create that in release. Now it should be good. Gateway is failing. Did I miss the secrets? The keys? Yes, I did. I only created that for internal. So server keys for release. client keys for release. Now this should be going. But yeah, now we have to wait for it to actually recreate the containers. There we go. So 𝙽𝙴𝚁𝙀𝚂, no, first flux get customization. Did I bump the microphone? Sorry. Okay, so now this is correct. Now 𝙽𝙴𝚁 logs login default namespace release. That seems to be working, but yeah, now I don't see the status. Okay, this is another problem that I don't see the messages that I should see. Let's write it down. Just the server log levels. World statuses on the login should be info. What else? But yeah, this now uses the production analog configuration. So I only see the info and above. I don't see the debug logs. But that's okay. World is probably gonna report its status. Yeah, this one reports its status as good. Sure. And do we have gateways running properly? This one is running. What about internal? Looks like it's working. Okay, so that works. But now we have two different releases. We also need to update the GitLab CI pipeline, because in addition to these two, I also need to add a required input called stage. Oh, by the way, for this one, I can probably GitLab CI input. For this one, I can probably use like a dropdown or something. Options. There we go. So for the stage name, we will have internal and release. Okay, stage name. And now here we need to adjust our paths to the files. We also need to require that thing here. So stage name needs to be set for this to work. If it's empty, we never execute that. Okay, so now we have the stage name. So if this is there, then we'll output that into Ymirheim server dash stage name. And here, dash stage name slash values dot game data image. Okay, that's good. And here as well, we need to output that. Okay, this looks good. So this will be stage name added to the pipeline inputs. And let me take a look. How does it look like? Pipeline failed. Why is that? Input required. Well, I guess we will have a default internal value then. This is stupid, but okay. Why does it try to execute a pipeline? Does it need when manual? It probably does, huh? So stage deploy, image entry point when manual, rules, environment. Yeah, environment. Environment should be the stage name. Environment should be the stage name. Let's name it like that, Ymirheim server. How did I name it in my previous setup? So 1 sec. Environments. I didn't. It was just literally internal and prod, which should have been release, not prod. Let's do Ymirheim server slash stage name would be our environment. And this should run only manually. It should never be executed automatically. No? Still like that? So how do I do this? So if I have a required if I have a required input. Wait, this is not it. Inputs. To define default values for inputs were not specified. When you specify a default, the inputs are no longer mandatory. So what happens if I do have a mandatory input? How do I stop it from failing? This is weird. I don't think it can actually use mandatory inputs. Like each commit creates a pipeline. How do I disable that? I don't understand. Previously, when I did any commit, wait. Yeah, it didn't create anything. It only created the pipelines when I manually triggered them. So that was good. So looks like the documentation is lying. You actually have to describe a default value, because otherwise it just fails. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Then we will set it to internal. Why is this errors out? Pretty sure the schema is not correct. So we push that. Still failed. Invalid interpolation access pattern. The hell? Oh. Okay. My bad. Now the pipeline is not being created at all. Okay, sure. Whatever. So now I have the stage name, internal or release. Now I can try to deploy a server, I guess. What's the latest? Internal, latest tab, E3. Well, it's the same. Okay, at least let's create a pipeline. It failed. There's nothing to commit. Okay, let's try now. Okay, it succeeded. Okay, good. It actually created a commit. Nice. Right. Pipeline fixed. Good. So now I need to fix my pipeline for Ymirheim server. Because now we have just this one. So this is gonna be internal. Oh, by the way, environment. What do I have in the environment? Yeah, Ymirheim server / internal. Good. Now I can see which commit is deployed. Sure. It's useless, but sure. Now, internal. We need stage name, right? Internal. Stage name. We need to mark this. Environment is going to be Ymirheim Kubernetes / internal. only master. Okay. And we need... Actually, I don't think I can reuse it. Yeah, I can't even reuse it. That's a bummer, but okay. This is release. Stage name release. And this is only on release. Okay. This looks good. Now that is still gonna be in place in case I still need to deploy something quickly to the old environment. Let's commit this. And now if we go to the server pipelines, now I have, wait. Yeah, I didn't push it. Okay, now I have the internal only. That's good. The release should only be on the release branch. Actually, I'm pretty sure. No. I'm pretty sure I can use environment variable here in the name as the branch name. But no, I still need to make sure that internal only runs on master, release only runs on release. That's okay. Okay, so now I can try to trigger the job internal. Let's see what it's gonna look like. And it's deployed. So now here I should see a new commit. Perfect. It just deployed the latest version. So EF65. Is that the latest one? Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I have that. I have that. I also need to do the same for the game data repository. Data default, not default, local, this. Also, I'm gonna remove this comment from this portion, but gonna keep this one. So, master, environment name, yes. Environment name, yeah, I had this thing. Now I'm not gonna have it. That's okay, that's okay. So, yeah, this deploy internal, that's still gonna be there for some time. I need to change this one. So what do we do? Internal. Environment name. Manual deploy environment name. Only on master. Variables. Stage name internal. Should be good, and we can copy that for the release. Only on release. Stage name release. Okay, looks good. Yeah, we use the game data image tag in this one. Let's commit that. Need to do it from here. And we can try deploying that. Oof. Okay, so where is my game data? Hello? What's going on with my PC? That was a weird glitch. Hopefully the stream is still going. Looks like it is. But yeah, weird. My PC froze. Interesting. So now we can deploy that. Let's see if that works. So an internal, yeah, it just restarted. On the release, it should stay the same. Yeah, that's been running for 30 minutes. Okay, good. Good, and the game data is now updated. Nice. Maybe now for the server and the game data, we can do an automatic release to the internal namespace. I didn't do that actually. My previous deployment to internal was manual. But now we can actually do automatic deployment. Should I do that? I don't know. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm still gonna keep it at manual. And I will do manual deployment when I need it. But okay, that's good. That works. we finished with that. I think we're done. Like, I still need to configure all of that. So for the production release, I need to switch to the external database. That's the main thing. I need to point it to my external Prometheus, configure it for external Elastic, and create the proper secret for that. I need to put correct client server authentication keys. Configure the database. And it should be it. That should be our new production server. And then for staging, for the internal release, I'm gonna stay in the test database. Staging, yes. I still would need to configure Prometheus. Still need to configure Elastic login. Put the real secrets. And I need to create a separate node, right? I would need to create a separate node and put it in the node selector. Because right now it's running whatever, right? Yeah, it's running the instances where it wants. I can't even connect to it because the gateway is running on the zone virtual machine, which is not publicly accessible. So yeah, I would need a separate node, and this will be deployed to that node. But okay. Other than that, I think we're finally done. Now I can test. So I will probably configure all of that. I don't know, maybe even tonight after the stream. Because that's not a lot. Well, I don't want to create a node. But yeah, everything else I can probably configure and I can probably test it. At least I can watch how it's behaving, look at the metrics and stuff like that. And then I will do a proper migration on the weekend and more testing. Then probably I will leave it running for a week until the next weekend, the weekend next week. Then we can probably do the actual release and migrate the server. So to migrate the server, what would I need? I would need to shut down the old server. That's that time for good, but just stop all the instances. I would need to back up the database. I would need to restore that backup in the new database. Make sure that that the replication works with the backup database. Make sure that the backups are working. Then what? Then we just spin up the release instance in the cluster and point to the new cluster. So in theory, it should be pretty straightforward. So we just shut down the old server, do the database backup, transfer that backup in the new database, and start the server. And hope that it's working. Yeah, that should be good. So yeah, we're almost done. So let's see, what's next? What next do we need to do? Yeah, I wanted to create a CI job for the database backup to manually trigger it. I think I just saw it in the README. No, this is to migrate the database. Yeah, I don't know yet what would my manual database backup command look like. So I think I'm gonna skip that for now. Okay, I wanted to take a look at the Discord notifications. So that's components, notification, alerts. What the differences between events and alerts? No, I don't think I need that. Providers. Do we have guides about that? Webhooks receivers. Is that about? No, that's not it. It's webhook receivers on the Flux side. Okay. Sealed secrets. No, I don't need that. Automate image updates. Image. Yeah, this is what I want. I want a new version and I want the alerts about failures. So what do we need? First, create a secret with your Slack. I don't want Slack. I want Discord. When spec type, so I would need the provider, notification provider. Controller will send a payload for an event to the provided Discord address. The event will be formatted into a Slack message and sent to the Slack endpoint of the provided Discord address. Okay. The provider type supports the configuration of proxy URL. No, I don't need that. But lacks the support for configuring a channel that's going to be configured during the creation of the address. Yes, I know that. Create a secret with the address. Set the webhook URL to a Discord provider with a secret reference. So provider, Discord namespace default. I'm gonna put it in Flux system. Type Discord, secret ref, Discord webhook, and then we have a secret with address. Okay, so let's say we do that. So yeah, we define notification provider, define an alert, create an alert definition for all repositories and customizations. Flagger system. I guess, yeah, it should be in the same namespace as we define the bot. But why Flagger? Okay, sure. Define an alert. Create an alert definition for all repositories and customizations. On-call web app. This is, okay. Event severity info, event sources, Git repository, and customization. What if I want a Helm release? Do I also do like specify it there? Apply the above files or commit them to the Bootstrap repository to verify that the alert has been acknowledged by the notification controller. Do that. Multiple alerts can be used to send notifications to different channels or Slack organizations. When the verbosity is set to info, the controller will alert if Kubernetes object was created, updated, or deleted. Health checks are passing. A dependency is delaying the execution, and error occurs. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Should be pretty easy. So, yeah, let's do this. So we need to go to here, Flux system, I guess. Or maybe we create a new folder. Let's create a new folder, alerts. We create a file provider. YAML. And let's put this thing into there. Provider, Discord, namespace, Flux system. Type Discord. Secret ref, Discord webhook. Okay. I'm gonna create a secret in a moment, but first I want this. Wait, this is Sentry. Here. We need to define an alert. So new alert YAML. Let's put this here. So alert. Flux system. So how do we name it? Just like that, I guess. Summary. Flux status. I don't know. I don't know what summary is. What it's supposed to be. Event metadata. Cluster. Nothing else. Provider. Discord. Event severity info. Oops, sorry. Sorry for the mic bump. So this should be it. Now we just need to create a secret. Let me do that. So secret, this is gonna be a generic secret. And Flux system namespace. It's gonna be called Discord webhook. From literal address equals, let's create a webhook. 1 sec. Okay, we should be good. So now I can commit whatever I just created. Please tell me it works. So it applied. Yes, I just got it. Customization. Flux system alert. Provider created. Okay. So looks like it works. Now let's try to break stuff. I'm going to, where is it? I'm going to deploy a non-existent release. Okay, so I'm deploying a non-existent release. Now what do I have? Config map, Helm release created. Alt config map deleted. It's weird. Why am I getting config map events. And where are my errors? Reconciliation is in progress. It's gonna stay there, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't get anything. 𝙽𝙴𝚁𝙸𝚂 get Helm release. Namespace release. Run an upgrade action with timeout. Yeah, that's a problem. It doesn't say anything about any problems. Yeah, I don't receive this apply failed or something. Flags get alerts. Alert is ready. Let me try to add a Helm repository. No. Helm release, Helm chart, Helm repository. Weird. Oh, here we go. I do have it. Health check failed. Timeout waiting for config map. So this is customization app. Failed early due to stalled resources. Helm release status failed. So now Helm release status is failed. Yeah, now it's failed. Guess I should have just waited a little bit. And the app is failed now. Okay, sure. Let's redeploy the correct app. Oh, that's release. I need to do that manually. Okay. Let's see what happens. Bunch of green notifications. Deployment. Helm release configured. Reconciliation is still in progress. I don't know why. It's running. Now it's applied. Okay, good. Health checks passed. Okay. So that's working. I now have notifications in Discord. Okay, good. Okay. Do I need anything else? Metrics, custom metrics, logs, events. Yeah, I think we're done with Flux now. Hopefully it will continue working correctly, but it looks good. It looks good. I just need to configure this properly, set up all the credentials, set up the databases, set up the replication of those databases, connect everything together, put keys in place, create another node in the cluster, and we should be good. I'm just double checking. Did they do everything that they wanted to in Kubernetes? I mean, I still need to play a little bit with K0s, and I wanted to check how the K3s working. Maybe that would be a better approach for me, because right now I am using K0s to spin up the cluster. But yeah, Flux is working. Our Helm chart is working. It's actually very useful. It works good. We tested the metrics. I just need to connect them to the actual instance. What else? I think we're done. Now we just need to deploy, test, maybe fine-tune some stuff, watch the performance. But yeah, this looks good. Now, what do we do now? So I'm done with working with Kubernetes on stream. I still need to configure it, but that's going to be off stream. Now, I can start working on another feature, probably. But that would probably require me to actually run the game client. I don't want to do that on this stream. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream early today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I want to end the stream early and finalize the actual setup, configure everything correctly. And so then I can just watch how the cluster behaves for the next couple of days. And then we'll see what we would need to do. And maybe in the next game dev stream, I will do some actual testing. I just don't want to do that today because that stream would be potential like copyright strike. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream early today. Let's see, can we rate somebody? Let's rate Ike. So yeah, today I think we actually finally finished working, like setting up the Kubernetes stuff, at least the stuff that I can do on stream. Now the rest of the work I will have to do off stream unless I find some big problem that would require a lot of time to fix, then maybe I can do that on stream. But yeah, next I just need to set it up properly and test everything. And yeah, after that we can try working on more features. In the meantime, the cluster will be running and I will watch how it's behaving. And yeah, tomorrow is Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow is Friday, so we will play a new game on stream because we finished the previous one. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching and I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.